Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Story number 114, and the title is Allah Destroyed Elephant Army. Allah destroyed elephant army. Elephant army. Elephant army, what is it? It was an army that majority people were in it, but in the front line they had some elephants, and it was an army, a big army from Yemen. And in front of that army, in front line, there were elephants. So the name of that army is Elephant Army. What was the purpose of building that army? The purpose was that the king Abraha from Yemen, he wanted to destroy Baytullah in Mecca. He wanted to destroy the house that Ibrahim alayhi salam and his son Ismail alayhi salam built in Mecca. So King Abraha, he gathered a big army, a large army, in which there were elephants. And he took that army to Mecca from all the way from Yemen to destroy the holy house of Allah. When did it happen? According to one narration, it happened 50 days before the birth of Holy Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. 50 days before. That time, Quraysh leaders used to look after Baytullah, that holy house. Even though they used to worship idol in there, but they were looking after that house, and people from all around used to come for pilgrimage, even though in their pilgrimage they had also included wrong thing, wrong method, but the pilgrimage system was going on, and they used to also look after the pilgrimage every year. And that time, Holy Prophet's grandfather Abdul Muttalib was the leader for the Quraysh, and also he was the leader for looking after the Baytullah as well. But when the king Abraha came with large army, the Quraysh leaders didn't have power to face him or to challenge him. But Allah saved the house and destroyed the elephant army. So that is the story. Allah saved the house and destroyed the elephant army. So there was no necessity of any army, human army, to defend the place or to fight against Abraha. But it was miraculously Allah had destroyed that army by His own army. So let us go to this story in Quran and find out what happened. There is a chapter in Holy Quran, chapter 105, and the name is Al-Fil, and Al-Fil means the elephant. Al-Fil is the elephant. So let us recite that, and then I will describe some of the background, what happened. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Alam tara kayfa fa'ala rabbuka bi ashabil fil. ألم يجعل كيدهم في تضليل وأرسل عليهم طيرا أبابيل ترميهم بحجارة من سجيل فجعلهم كعصف مأكول. Alam tara, did you not see? Kaifa fa'ala rabbuka, how your Lord dealt with the ashabil fil, with the companions of the elephant, with the army of elephant. Alam yaj'al kaidahum fi tadlil, didn't Allah make their evil plan go astray? وَأَرْسَلَ عَلَيْهِمْ طَيْرًا أَبَابِيلَ, and Allah sent against them flights of birds. تَرْمِيهِمْ, striking them, striking the elephant and the soldiers. بِحِجَارَةٍ مِّن سِجِّيلٍ, with stones of baked clay. فَجَعَلَهُمْ كَعَصْفٍ مَّأْكُولٍ, and then He made them like a chewed grass. Destroyed them. So, this is the simple meaning of this chapter. Now, let us go to the brief history of it. Yemen, Yemen emperor, he built a big church in Yemen, but he was not a true pious Christian. He was very cunning and very much money-minded person. So he built a church, nice one, and then he announced to that region, to whole Arab region and Persia, he said that from now no one will go to the pilgrimage in Baytullah in Mecca. Everyone has to come into here because I have got better facility. So his idea was that if people go there, lots of tourists will go, tourism industry will have a boost, and he will make a lot of money. He didn't consider few other things. One thing he didn't consider, that people from different religion will not go to his place for pilgrimage. He didn't consider that. He also didn't consider that from few thousands of years after Prophet Abraham built this place, people have been going in Mecca for pilgrimage. He didn't consider that suddenly how people will change that. He didn't consider that. And particularly when Prophet Ibrahim a.s. made that place, he also made a supplication to Allah. It is recorded in Quran. He said, وَجْعَلْ أَفْئِدَةً مِّنَ النَّاسِ تَهْوِي إِلَيْهِمْ, that, O Allah, attract people's heart towards this community. And Allah had accepted his supplication, and that is why, for pilgrimage, all this time, even in the age of ignorance, people used to go there. Their heart was attracted to there. Many people used to there to do the pilgrimage. And now suddenly, people would not leave that place to go to Yemen and follow Yemen emperor's order. So what happened was the reality that people did not go in Yemen. As a result, he became angry. He became very, very angry, and then he was looking for an excuse. He was looking for an excuse that he could find an excuse and he could come and he could destroy the Baytullah, the house of Allah that was built by Ibrahim alayhi salam. Then when it is destroyed, then people will not have any other choice but to go to his place. Silly. So he was looking for an excuse, he found excuse, and then he gathered a large army. In this world, if you are a superpower, then you can find an excuse. Even you don't have to follow the decision. You don't have to follow the decision of World Assembly or the world opinion. If you have too much power, you can find an excuse to attack somebody. I'll tell you a little story about a tiger and a baby goat. One day, a baby goat was drinking water from a spring. So the spring was coming from top of the mountain down. So the goat was, suppose, here, drinking here, and water was coming from the top. And then a tiger came from the mountain and he was sitting on the top, and he saw that down there the baby goat was drinking. So the tiger said to him, "Hey, why are you making my water dirty?" So little wise goat said, "No, the water is coming from your way and going down. How can I make your water dirty?" But actually, the tiger was looking for an excuse to eat him. So the tiger said, "Oh, okay, I remember now. You did not make my water dirty, but your father did. So I have to kill you. I have to eat you." So the tiger found an excuse and killed the innocent baby goat. That's how sometimes people look for an excuse and they find an excuse. But this excuse is not the main thing. The main thing is their motivation, that they have their evil plan. So Abraha, he had his evil plan that by hook or crook, he wanted people to divert from there to go to his country so he can have lots of tourists, he can make a lot of money. That was in his agenda. But without making an excuse, he could not attack. So he found some excuses. Anyway, so he gathered a large army and then he came. In his army, he had 12 big elephants. So his idea was that he will use those elephants and elephants will break that house. In the main army, also a large army, that if anyone challenges, then they will also challenge them back. And they had a large army, very confident, and they knew that Quraysh would not have an army. They had very small population, and the other tribes, other regions, they would not have enough power to resist him. So he was very confident of coming, winning, destroying, and he could make his own way possible. So King Abraha, he proceeded with his army from Yemen, and on the ways some other little tribe, they got the message, and they did not like that he would come and destroy the place where they go for pilgrimage. So they tried to resist, but they failed because they didn't have enough power to resist the large army of Abraha. Then Abraha came close to the house of Allah and rested, and he looted animals, camels, goat, sheep, etc. From the Quraysh farmers. He looted 200 camels from Prophet's grandfather Abu Talib. He set up tents not far from Baytullah, and then he sent messenger to Quraysh leaders. Messenger goes and says to them that, look, we have not come to make any war with you. We have only come to destroy the house of Allah. We have come to destroy the Baytullah. Let us do our job and we will not attack you. Finally, Abdul Muttalib, the grandfather of Prophet Muhammad, he went to see him and he said that we also don't want to fight because we don't have any power to fight with you. But I have come to get my 200 camels because I am the owner of those camels. I want those camels back from you. And I will not fight, or I will not ask my people to fight to save the house of Allah, because the house of Allah has a owner, and the owner is Allah. And it is the owner's responsibility to save the house because we are helpless. He said that, he gave that message, and then he came back. He came back and he asked the people that go and take shelter in the mountains, and he gathered Quraysh leaders, and they came and they hold the door of Kaaba and they were crying there. They were crying, "O Allah, save your house from Abraha. O Allah, save your house from Abraha." And that happened only 50 days before the birth of Holy Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So they cried, they prayed, they supplicated to Allah, even though the irony is they used to worship idols. But in that time of musibah, in that time of calamity, they did not pray to idols. They did not pray to their idols. They, "Oh idols, you have power. Now save this house or save us from Abraha." No. They went to Baytullah, hold the door, and they were crying. They were saying, "Oh Allah." And also look at this. They also used to call the house Baytullah, Bayt of Allah, house of Allah. But yet they were silly. They used to worship other idols as well. But the point is, they prayed to Allah and they said, "Oh Allah, save your house from Abraha." Then the time came. Abraha's army, they came to attack Baytullah. The Quraysh leaders, the Quraysh people, men, women, children, young, all of them, they were hiding in the mountain. So, no resistance for Abraha and his army. There was no resistance. Abraha was relieved easily. He could go and finish, destroy the house. and he wanted to do this. But the leading elephant, its name was Mahmud. The leading elephant, when the guard was pushing the elephant towards the Baytullah to destroy it, the elephant sat down. The elephant sat down, and the carer of it was beating it, pushing it. But the big elephant doesn't stand up. The moment it stand up, then it ran behind, not forward to destroy the house of Allah. It ran towards Yemen, the opposite direction. Then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala sent His army. And His army were not human. وَأَرْسَلَ عَلَيْهِمْ طَيْرًا أَبَابِيلَ. Allah sent against them flights of birds from sea area. Lots and lots of birds came. تَرْمِيهِمْ بِحِجَارَةٍ مِّن سِجِّيلٍ. They came with little stone. Each bird had 3 stones, little stones, like the lentil size stone. And the 3 stones, 2 in 2 claws and 1 in the beak. They came. Huge, numerous small birds came. Each bird has 3 stones, lentil size, and then they threw the stones on the soldiers, on the elephant, and they died. They were destroyed there. Only few people, Allah saved them, who could escape with injury, so they could go back and they could tell the people that what exactly they have seen, so it will be in the history. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has put this story in the history in the Quran, so that until the doomsday, this story will continue, and whoever wants to learn from this story, they will learn that Allah is Almighty. Nobody can challenge Allah. If Allah wants to save His things, Allah can. And people who are working for Allah, they should rely on Allah, and they should pray for Allah for protection and safety. Because if Allah wants to protect, then no army, nothing can harm anyone. So this is the basic teaching of this story, that Allah destroyed elephant army, and Allah can destroy any army who are doing the wrong things, and Allah can protect the righteous people or righteous things or righteous places if Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala wants to protect it. So this is the end of this story. Assalamu alaikum.